Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Monday, September 23rd, 2024 pre-market report. Let's start off with this, people. I know you're paying attention to all this stuff, but the Middle East is erupting, just as you and I said it would from a long time ago. This is not going to end. There's going to be more pain, more death, more suffering, and then we're going to be sold that this must happen to bring about peace. Let's see, murder for peace. Anyway, you can't make this stuff up. It's too pathetic here, but that's what we're being sold. Anyway, just a couple of headlines here. It's out of control. And again, it's all a means to an end, of course. And you notice how these things just happen, by chance, of course. Generally on weekends, after market hours, when things get really out of hand. You can't make that up either, but it's really the truth. False flag weekends, it's just an incredible thing. Now, with regard to war, what does that mean? We understand that this process here is, again, to fulfill the need for more borrowed dollars. That's really the bottom line here. It has nothing to do with murder for peace or peace for murder or whatever it might be. This is all a mechanism to pull more cash into the now by any means. By any means, people. If you think this has anything to do with anything else, well, then you're completely lost here. The mechanism is so evil, so wicked, so twisted, and they will... For how many years have I explained to you that they will splatter our blood and guts from one end of this earth to the other just so they can, again, create reasons out of nothing to pull more cash into the now. It's how the system works. It's an elimination. It's an extermination in a literal sense. And if you think that this is just over there, you have no idea where this is eventually going, people. I really hope you understand. It's not going to stop. It's going to get a lot worse here. And many, many people are going to die. Now, let's move forward. So, look. The lies, the distractions, the propaganda, the deceptions, the look here, don't look over there. This is going to continue. We know, you and I, for a fact, okay, that the world economy is cratering, absolutely cratering. And I'm going to tell you something just real quick. You know who's leading the charge here? The United States and Europe. Now, here's just a headline just real quick for my European friends. And I don't have to show you this. You already know what's going on. European economy careening in a downturn. It's out of control. Europe looks to be heading towards a downturn, and its biggest economic woes lie ahead. Absolutely, people. This is sweeping the world. The paradox here is exactly what you and I have covered here for I don't know how long. The faster this mechanism comes down, the faster that the global economy collapses. Obviously, the higher the markets are going to go. It's an insane situation here. You're going to hear politicians. You're going to hear whoever they want. Oh, look at the stock market. This must mean we're doing great. Nothing could be further from the truth. It's an incredible thing. So, I've been telling everybody for the longest time that my heart goes out to my European friends. My heart goes out to everybody, okay? We are being destroyed. We're being systematically erased. I don't know another way to put it. It's totally out of control on a grand scale. Now, I want to show you a couple of other things here. Our lovely friend Neil Kashkari, and Fed President Bostic. Yes, Bostic, the same guy who just got caught insider trading. Well, they both want to tell you something. So Kashkari, the man is Satan incarnate in my view. And also here, Bostic here. The man literally just got caught insider trading just 2 weeks ago here. That's what they want you to know, that the labor market is not flashing red, despite the fact that hiring, I want you to listen to this, hiring here in the United States, by their own mouth, out of their own mouth, pie hole here, okay? They're telling us hiring is at a historic low, more so than the Great Depression. But we're supposed to listen to Cash and Carry and the insider trader, Bostic. Oh yeah, that really works out. Imagine our shock there. Now, people, I want to show you something else, and this should really push home what you and I have been discussing over and over and over again. Commodities, commodities, commodities. Sound familiar to you? Commodities. In fact, I just put out, again, I reposted this for all of you who follow my newsletter, people, a post about just five exchange traded funds which will allow you exposure to commodities. People ask me about this all the time. Okay, Greg, how do I gain exposure? And I know there's a lot of new people here. If you subscribe to this blog and you are not subscribe to my newsletter, you're missing out on a whole bunch of information. There is a link in the description of this video, so you can check out my newsletter. It's free. It's 100% free, man. Just like the MMRI. And let me talk, I don't have a printout. I'm sorry. The MMRI. Okay, right now, if you were to go look at that link in the description of this video, again, this tracks what the Fed is doing in real time with regard to weakening the dollar, in this case, buying up all the debt. They're making sure this remains in a place that the market is comfortable with here. And that's exactly what's going on. Despite war, expanding war, pain, death, suffering, the mechanism to pull more cash into the now, the military-industrial complex here, this mechanism here, no other endeavor on this planet, I'm just going to repeat it. I want you to think about what I'm about to say. Really focus if you're new here. There is not a single human endeavor that generates more cash flow for the corporate agenda, for the military-industrial complex than war. War creates a greater need for borrowed dollars than anything else, period. The second would be global scamdemics. You understand? That would be the second. So imagine what they're going to do to us moving forward. We're going to see war, more death, more pain, all in the name of peace. Imagine that. We have to murder each other. We have to murder each other to bring about peace. Let me tell you something about war. War does not serve the people. War serves itself. Does that make any sense to you? And obviously, the mechanism here. It's an incredible thing to see, but it's exactly what you would expect to see in this kind of an environment. Now, let's take this a notch up here. Now, if we keep our eyes on what's going on in the Middle East, how do you think that's going to affect energy prices? How do you think that's going to affect the price of crude oil? You think it's going to go down? You really do? No. It's a mechanism as well to keep crude oil propped up. I tell you, man, this stuff that we are seeing is so wicked. I don't know another way to put it here, people, for all of us. But look, we're never going to allow the system to destroy us. How do I say this another way? If we do not look at what's happening, not just to those people that are stuck in their boxes. I live in the United States. It's the greatest place in the world, and we're just beautiful here. And then they're stuck in there. They can't think outside of the United States borders. It's an incredible thing here. Okay, you got to look at what's happening here around the world, to the global economy around the world, to the people of the world, expanding war, all the stuff that you and I have been talking about here, to really understand what's happening. Otherwise, you're lost. You have no clue as to what's going on. And I tell you, again, like I was saying, this does present opportunity for us to flip it, to flip the situation here, because most people have no idea. What did we just hear in the illustrious words of our illustrious Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan? He said, maybe 5% of the people here in the United States understand what the Fed is up to and what they're doing right now. The Fed is in full on, right now, especially after Wednesday, emergency monetary policy mode. And that means people what's going forward with regard to currency devaluation, artificially suppressed rates, inflation, more war, and everything else that goes along with it is going to happen. And this is the setup, and they're stringing us along. So what are we going to do about it? Again, first of all, we've been on the right pathway for so long now, many years. And we're not going to deviate. We're going to continue to buy the dips in this market. We're going to continue to become our own central banks, bet against the debt, gain exposure to commodities. I mean, look, don't take my word for this stuff anymore. It's even getting mainstream media attention. Let me ask you, when I read this and I read the two freaks behind saying this, does that bother you at all? That we have Neil Cash and Carey here, the Lex Luthor of the Federal Reserve, and Bostic, Fed President Bostic, who just got caught insider trading. They can get away with anything they want to, these Fed presidents. There's no accountability. And you know what happens to people like Bostic, right? They get to just resign without having to pay back a single penny of their ill-gotten gains. The last guy, the Fed vice chair, can't remember his name, got to resign with over $40 million in ill-gotten gains. $40 million. Oh, don't worry. Just resign. You won't be arrested. There will be no penalties at all. Just resign and you could keep your 41, actually it was 41 million and change. You can't make it up, but that's what's going on. But how is it that there's different, I mean, could you imagine you and me doing something like that? What would happen to us? You don't even want to know. Anyway, just keep your eyes on the Middle East here, people. This is not done by any measure or anything. And I can tell you this. The more that I look at, and I do this all the time, look, I do this, yes, for selfish reasons as well, but then I share it all with you. When I look at what's happening here to the global economy, to the world, what central banks are doing, I say, okay, Greg, what actions do we need to take, me, myself and I, okay? And then once I come up with what I feel should be done, needs to be done, at least for myself, obviously I share that with all of you. And that means, again, we just need to raise our awareness, stay ahead of what's going on, focus on what's going on, and realize where we're going. And that was where I was leading up to here. I still say, you can basically tell the future if you do one thing. That is, connect the dots. Look at where things are going here. It's not too difficult to say, okay, these are the most likely scenarios to happen moving forward. And I'm going to say it again. 2025, after the presidential selection, remember, there will be no election. This is a selection. After that, all bets are off. And we'll see what's going to happen here moving into 2025. But we know is going to happen is vastly expanding global debt. That obviously means currency devaluation, a destruction here of the middle class here, the economies of the world collapsing faster than they are now. And I'm going to say it again. The United States and Europe are leading the charge in a race to the bottom. You understand? It should be pretty obvious to all of you out here. It's just incredible what they're doing to us. Again, most people have no idea. 95% of the people have no clue as to what's happening to them, why it's happening to them, or anything else. They believe the lies, the deceptions, the distractions, but not you and me. We are way, way, way too smart for that. All right, people, anyway, listen, I'm going to let you all go. I want to hear from you here. Do you understand that war does not serve anything but itself? War serves itself and, of course, those who support it. The military-industrial complex, the central banks. Where does all the cash come from to fight these wars? Is it stashed in a war chest somewhere and they just say, okay, I'm going to take this amount of cash and now I'm going to take this amount of cash? No, it has to be created out of nothing. Poof. And then used to buy munitions and weapons and fighter planes and aircraft carriers and bombers and tanks, and of course brainwash the masses as to why they have to murder, why we have to murder each other to bring about peace. Who came up with that? You tell me. All right, I'm out here. Before I start to blow my stack off, people, man, let me tell you something. This is so sick. I love all of you so much. I mean that from the heart. Please get the video out there, share it. You got something out of this video? People, we know what to do, man. It's too simple. It's too simple from a financial standpoint here. If we realize the commodities are the place to be, don't take Greg Mannarino's word for it anymore. I've been telling you this for years. We've been covering it for years. It's too easy. With regard to the market, the faster that this entire economy comes down, the higher the market's going to go until it doesn't. And we have the best tool, at least in my view, in the history of the world, and that is we're watching the debt market. Well, all these freaks are watching. What's the stock market doing? Rah, rah, rah. We're focusing on the driver. The debt market is the driver of this entire thing. And the higher they inflate, or the more they inflate this global debt bubble and devalue the currency and artificially suppress rates, you tell me, where's the stock market going? Because I know people, and please stop sending me things about what this guy says and like that guy says. Let me tell you what I get. And I woke up to this morning. Hey, Greg, so-and-so, and I'm not even mentioning names nor anything else, says, well, the market's going to crash next month, and this is why, and blah, blah, blah. What are your thoughts? I'm not even answering those kind of questions. I just delete it. You understand? I am not doing that. I ignore all this stuff because these people have been wrong 100% of the time. 100%! I have not been right 100% of the time, but I've been right about 90% of the time. Okay? If these people have been wrong 100% of the time, in the face of what we're seeing here, why are you people even watching this stuff? So again, you send me stuff like that. What are your thoughts on what so-and-so is saying? Believe me, I'm not answering it. So you can send me all the stuff you want. I don't care. It's just nonsense. All right, look, here we go and get myself all crazy. People, I love you all from the heart. I mean that. I will see you later, 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. Get this stuff out there. I'm counting on you. And comment. Comment here. Helps the algorithms. Let the freaks say what they want to say here. Those personal attacks on you and me, good. Let them ramble on, because all it does is help the channel. and I freaking love it. All right, that's it, man. I will see all of you later, 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern, people. Until we meet again, please, in this freaking freak show, more than ever, take care of yourself and take care of each other, all right? That's all.